Money don't have to be the be all in all of everything that we have to do. Well, we got to get some money, we got to get paid, got this. No, bro, I'm all about building my legacy, saying that I am the best and knowing that I'm the best and putting that up to test to anybody that feel like they better and give them.
Those are the words, people, of Deontay the Bronze Bomber Wilder. As you guys heard, he just finished a exclusive interview with 78 Sports TV. Shouts out to them. And he had a lot along with his trainer, Malik Scott. And before we begin, John Neal, counterpunch to you. Learning guitar fool. Where you at, dog? I'm right here. Waza, Fury and his fans should be extremely worried. Wilder means business. Uh-oh. Counterpunch to you, Waza. James Delaney, Bomb Squad. Danny Howden, Late Squadron. Okay. Look. It was a very informative interview. Very informative. I enjoyed it. I think it was a good read. I think you guys should check it out. I'll let you guys listen to that particular part or portion so I can counterpunch, okay? Barone, Vaughn, Vlatan, counterpunch to you. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. The Nerd Collector. Didn't Wilder mean business first and second time? Uh-oh. And second time, how did that 10 it? And what's your fanboys got to do with it? You don't go to fights and don't buy fights. Only Fury's complacency will lose him the fight. I thought Wilder was fighting Charles Martin. No, sir. Joe, you are way behind. He ain't talked about fighting Charles Martin for a very long time. Counterpunch. Now, he's fighting Tyson Fury July 24th. This is the first interview that he's had since the arbitration, winning the arbitration. And it was simple. You know, the way he explained it, I'll leave the link below. Let you guys check out the interview, when time permits after this particular fantastic live stream and let you guys hear it. But he was basically like, hey, we had the evidence, we had the proof, we had the contract, and we had a damn good lawyer. Right? I mean, what more could you need at that point? Andrew Michael, hot from Cardiff, counterpunch to you. If Wilder wins, boxing goes back to 2018. AJ and Wilder champions, but not fighting each other. Zach Gobble. Okay, I don't know if you heard the first beginning of this. I hope that's not the case. I hope that the deal can get done between Joshua and Wilder. That's pretty much what we have to look forward to. I have a video coming out tomorrow scheduled about Shelly Finkel and his take on the whole possibility of Joshua fighting Deontay Wilder. So we have over 100 in the chat. So it's time to, boom, go visible on this end. So it was a good read. It was a good video, good interview. I enjoyed it. Malik Scott, if you guys noticed, it's been Malik Scott and Deontay Wilder. Now, we've seen JD here and there, but I think he took a backseat role. You've seen him in the backdrop. You ain't seen him in the forefront, okay? According to Mark Breland, JD's was known as that guy that wanted to be in, on stage. He wanted to be that stand-in, that premier guy. He wanted to be that particular kind of trainer, but without the credentials. But as of now, if you've seen him, he hasn't been in front. If anything, you should have saw JD's. He wasn't even a part of that. It's all been Malik Scott. I think this is Malik Scott's show. I think the way Malik Scott said, hey, I'm just focused on getting my big brother or my brother's belts back, and his brother meaning Deontay Wilder. So that should tell you that he's in charge of that particular job. okay, of that particular task. You see what I'm saying? So it's not JD's. I don't think JD's is running the show. If he had been running the show like as of old, you would have seen him in this podcast. They didn't even mention him really. You know what I mean? It's all about DW and Malik Scott. Stay blessed. Wilder loves the yes men. Well, he says that he likes positive people behind me. I couldn't help but to think about that. You know what I'm saying? Yes, bro, just landed. Hope all is well. Your side. Appreciate you, brothers. Appreciate you. But no. The interview, it wasn't long. It wasn't 2-3 hours. It was like 51 minutes. So it wasn't that bad. Haney versus Lopez. You know, well, Dembui, Torre. We're going to get to that. We're going to get to that. Oh, Adrian. Malik was there last camp. I don't remember seeing him last camp. Not calling you a liar. But, you know, I think that he's stupid. I don't know if he was, but if he was still there or was around Wilder, I think he still, again, took a back seat to what everybody else had instructed Wilder to do, whatever the hell that was. You know what I mean? Because you have to, you have to wonder what was the game plan. Malik Scott is an alien and hypnotized me. If Wilder loses, will Malik Scott be chunked to the wayside? I hope not, because see, if Wilder loses, and it's on how he loses, like if it's like an upsetting, embarrassing loss, like a dominant loss, like he had, I think at that point it would be. I think it probably they would have to do something. But if that's the case, people, I don't think that he would. I don't think that he should. Why? Because you speak it, believe it, receive it. Anybody that uses that quote, which Deontay Wilder, that's his speak it, believe it, receive it. You have to be a man of your word. Anybody that says that has to be a man of their word. And he said his words were, my team is loyal. He fired Mark Breland because Mark Breland threw in the towel. Okay. But if after everyone else, hey, the answer people's question, the reason why everyone else is there, because I'm loyal. I'm loyal to my people. You know what I mean? To my team. And to counterpunch Deontay Wilder, he was loyal to Showtime. He shouldn't have been loyal to Showtime because Showtime wasn't on his team. Counterpunch. They weren't. You know? Because as soon as he fought Brazil, he knocked out Brazil in like the first round. That was a spectacular knockout. He hit Brazil. Brazil didn't know what he got hit with. And Brazil was supposed to have been this big, giant, tough fighter, trouble. Right? And Wilder hit this man. I mean, he hit him. He never seen it coming. And it wasn't like Wilder caught him like he caught Luis, because he had to set that up. He had to catch Luis Ortiz, with his guard or outside, and he caught him inside. He didn't have to do any of that. He didn't have to strategize that hard. He walked up where Dominic Brazil was coming up. Boom! His ear and everything started waving. That shit was hilarious. And after that, it was a spectacular knockout. And I'm saying all that to say this about Wilder knocking out Dominic Brazil. That was on Showtime. And Showtime showed him how loyal they are to him. They weren't. So when he talks about loyalty, he talks about his team. I think Wilder misinterpreted who his team was. And I think now he's starting to understand the boundaries of who his team is, such as Shelly Finkel, JD still, without him knowing shit, but he's still there. He's loyal because he's been around a long time. You know what I mean? Mark Breland had to go, but, we always will have our problems with that. However, who else? Malik Scott, of course. You know, guys like that, Tay Jones, good friend of his, those guys will stay always short, close knit. You know what I mean? But I don't think, and he shouldn't, and he can't. Okay, he cannot say anything about or leave Malik Scott to the wayside. He can't do that. Carl Green, Dominic Brazil, Frankenstein. Yeah, he is like a damn mummy, ain't he? He fights like a mummy. He had Wilder hurt and walked into a straight right. Well, I mean, I don't see where he had Wilder hurt. You know, I think he caught Wilder with one shot and the shot was illegal. Look at the irony of that shit. Okay. He says Shelly Finkel is an alien. Oh, man. Cool background over there. Appreciate it, man. You know. He said Malik Scott is equivalent of Joshua Fabia for facilitating Wilder's delusional access. You know, they really didn't talk a lot about that. And that's what makes me wonder. If you guys notice, everyone's talking about the arbitration, the mediation to the arbitration, winning of the arbitration, victory. And the positive thing about that is Wilder now can't say that boxing is totally against him. You see what I mean? He had to take it to court, in the courts. Kurt, are you and the YB lovers? Mr. Jones, you tripping. You were tripping. He goes in like that made me forget what I was saying to that shit. But he goes, wait, let me see. Kurt, you must have missed it, but most interesting part of the interview was another piece of the puzzle. Was Malik Scott another new trainer? Which is another new trainer except Malik Scott? Another piece of the puzzle. Okay. So is it there, which is another new trainer except Malik Scott? So who is the other guy? Yeah, I watch Hatman Strikes Back. Malik Scott was talking about cutting grass and snakes, Kurt. Yeah, I didn't catch that part. The Londoner, I didn't catch that part. But then it's like, who, if he's talking about snakes, who could he have been talking about that we know? Think about it. Who could have he been referring to? Right? Because who could have stopped him, or what kind of snake, or what could those snakes do to affect the outcome of the fight? That's what I want to know about it. Like, who could have done that? You know, like who had that type of power or whatever, you know, because if you, this is why I love boxing, the sport that I love, that I hate so much, for this reason. And I love it because of this. The reason why excuses are not tolerated like that in boxing or in tennis, in like one-on-one sports, is because it's only one, it's just you and another person. It's like when people start talking about other shit that has nothing to do with you and another guy with two hands and two wraps and two gloves getting it on, right? Like, if you don't like anything outside of that, is really meaningless. That's why boxing is a sport that I love. I hated so much of the politics, but see, all the excuses and all that shit, you can throw that right out of the window. You know, so it is what it is. Uh-oh. Let's see. You were saying Wilder can't say boxing is totally against him. Thank you, Jonathan. Boom. Now I'm right on tack. I had to counterpunch somebody real quick. You know, we got what you call trolls. Debates are debates. Trolls won't be tolerated because, I mean, there's too many people with too many good points and they're just distractions. Anyway, no, Wilder can't See, Wilder can't, he's been talking, and everyone else around him has been talking about how unfairly he was treated, how unfairly the second fight was. Everybody was against him, me against the world. You know what I'm saying? That type of song and dance, that narrative was the thing that was thrown out there. The commission, all the commissioners, they were in on it. You know, Mauricio, he was in on it, which he's a liar, but I don't think that he was deliberately in on it. You know what I'm saying? To cover things up, though, that makes it more suspicious. But then again, you know, another factor, Tyson Fury, he was cheating. My trainer, he was cheating. So everybody was against me at the end of the day. But if you won the arbitration, you can't say that everybody in boxing was against you. Counterpunch. You can't say that no more. You've got your victory. You've won a battle outside of the ring. You have. You've won your day in court. D-Town Blasted, counterpunch to you, brother. Hit that like button. Hit that like button. You know, so it's like you can't say that anymore. Now you guys can now focus on something that actually matters. And what actually matters is strategy, game plan, strength and conditioning, and a will and a desire to want this fucking fight to happen and to get it accomplished and get the victory. That's what they should be worried about. Not, oh man, you know, COVID and Glovegate and all that old bullshit. Look, if you notice though, did you hear that? You know what I mean? Did you hear that? It seems like you only follow the heavyweight division. If you made videos of the 135 and 168 division, it would be great. Then Boy Torres, I just dropped Donito Donaire making history. Counterpunch. Just made another Devin Haney video. Okay, that's yeah. I cover this is me. Okay, I want to explain something to you guys. I cover news that is of importance. Okay, like a lot of times, like if I see something that comes out and it's like, I don't want to be the fourth or the fifth person to come out with something that I know everybody else knows, even though people will want my counterpunch on it. And in that case, I do give it, and I make special requests. People, you inbox me if you need me to do a particular video, I do that video, right? But if it's not like a mainstream, if it's not history making, if it's not iconic, I do almost every weight class. Okay. Like women boxing. I love women boxing. It's not a big enough drive for me to put a lot of energy in making videos, because I know, like, if you want to see that, I know where you can go. You can go to Ring IQ, because he keeps up with all of the female boxers, which is 100% absolutely fantastic. I love it. Right. And that's how I get mine. So, you know, he is in on that. It's a long time since Christy Martin and Layla Ali, people. You know what I'm saying? In Georgia Foreman. God bless the dead. You know, so it is what it is. So I think that once I get to the point where something is important, like, hey, Ryan Garcia will take on Devin Haney. Devin Haney will take on Teofimo. Okay, that's mainstream. That's mainstream. It's not anything else. Counterpunch with a follow-up hook. You damn right. Chris, I hate Wilder and his fans for the cheating allegations. Look, it's not really wild. It's a combination. It's a combination. It's frustrating to hear it, but most importantly, the evidence. And then see, it's not the evidence that they have, you know, with the glove looking funny or the floppy one in the first fight. It's not just that. The thing that makes it work bad is the fact that you hear shit that people say they have, and you don't, like the doctor with the bedented skull and the mandible and the cracked mandible and all that shit. You see all that. And then you're like, yo, it's like, yo, well, if you have all that and you claim you have it, and you have all these channels making videos to say they have this, where the fuck is it? See, a lot of my people are from Missouri. You got to show me. You got to show me. You can't say, hey, I got this, I have that. You know, okay, prove it. Show it to us. You guys seen how Fury signed that contract all in public like that? If Deontay Wilder, the way he was outspoken, the way he was, and the way he was going along with how outspoken and, hey, I want somebody to shut me up. I want you guys to do this. Bring on any contender. Bring on any champion. You remember he used to say these type of things. He used to recite this. He used to be a woofing, capping champion. You know what I mean? But the bronze bomber punch is the thing that backed it up, right? Because when he talked, he got somebody in the ring. He walked. Cool. Bars. But if that's the case, where's the same energy with all the shit that you claim you have? The only thing that I can come up with is maybe, just maybe, he's waiting for a court date. But it's like you don't hear about that now. It's almost like the flu. You don't hear about the flu no more. You hear about the Glovegate from Wilder like the flu is to the world now. And then coronavirus replaced the flu. Whatever. It's just, I guess, the arbitration replaced the fucking Glovegate because you don't hear about the Glovegate now. Hell, we heard about COVID. Shout out to Lady Shan on Fred from Barbershop's Conversation. Said that, oh, I think my brother had the flu or COVID. Appreciate the love, Lady Shan. Done dim season. Wilder and Fury are cancerous to the sport. Leave. They have to fight each other first. They have to knock each other and beat the shit out of each other. Usyk is Mr. Tickles. Okay. What makes him Mr. Tickles? Alan Hinton. Let's get those likes up. Absolutely. You watch him. Okay, let's see. No, here we go. You watch him throw slapping hooks. You've seen flat gloves. You've seen the tape underneath the gloves. What? Okay, that's evidence. And money man, let me remind you of something. I want you to pay attention to me. The way people explain how, oh, well, this side was a little longer on the wraps than this side was, that type of bullshit. You have to understand something. If that was the case, right? Hindsight's 2020, because that's what people are trying to, well, man, look, you could clearly see he was cheating. Well, obviously, fucking Wilder's team didn't. And it ain't just once, it's twice. So stop. So why are we, Bill Taylor? I don't know. I don't know. But why are we talking about something that you can't prove now? You're just going to go back and say, oh, well, man, look, you could clearly see he was cheating in this and that and the other. Well, how are you clearly seeing he was cheating? And when them motherfuckers were in the ring and they couldn't see he was clearly cheating. He's a big, tall, goofy, lanky bastard. That's what he is. You know what I'm saying? He fucking flicks punches. You know what I mean? He's an awkward dude. Look at his legs. He got Coogan legs. You know what I'm saying? I mean, the dude's awkward. Okay, I get it. Now, if it was that fucked up, why didn't they catch it? And see, you can't just now throw that on JD's, even though he is the primary guy because he was in the dressing room to make sure when it was wrapped up. But during the fight, after both fights, why Mark Breland, he knows how gloves supposed to look. He knows how that shit's supposed to look, right? And I'm really disappointed in him. Why? Because he could have shut down that shit too. He was, oh, well, I wasn't really there when he was wrapping the gloves. Well, fuck, you was there during the fight. He was there in the first fight and the second fight, correct? Am I right or am I wrong? He could have said easily, well, look, they didn't look fucked up to me. There was nothing that stuck out like a Louis Resto situation where the trainer was like, after the fight, after he beat the shit out of Billy Collins, they seen, yo, what's up with these gloves? Yo, grab this motherfucker. And everybody grabbed him. You know what I mean? And then they took it and then he found out, yo, what? It ain't no padding in these bitches. Then all that Panama Lewis and all that shit started and the scandals began because the guy seen after that. It wasn't even in the dressing room before the fight. It was after the fight. So if Mark Breland and JD's and all these motherfuckers, if they would have saw that, they would have said something. See, we have to make things clear. That's the thing. You have to make things clear. Not, oh, well, hey, I don't know about this, because the one thing you don't hear about is Glovegate now. But that's probably a good thing. And I'm not saying it like, oh, where they went. Well, they're happy they got where they're at, but at the same time, they should be focused more on strategy. game plan and on how to beat Tyson Fury. Not how to just hit him with one lucky fucking punch or that one punch that can put him out. No, you have to have a game plan to set that shit up, not just throw rights at him all day. Because if you think that's the game plan, you're going to see how the first fight went, and that's how it went. Yes, he eventually landed, and it saved him. If he wouldn't have got that knockdown in the last round, he would have lost by the scorecards, right? So there you go. Kurt, does rumors going around that the judge believed Wilder's case that Fury cheated? That's how he won. Dude, I don't want to hear about rumors. The Godfather box, I don't want to hear that shit because that's not why the fuck he ruled. He ruled in his favor because he had a contract. So let's stop. See, that's the type of bullshit that will get people. Oh, yeah. Actually, people want to believe that. I know a lot of those LDBC cats want to believe exactly what the rumor is. Yeah, Fury really did cheat. That's why I know he won the arbitration. No, it has nothing to do with that. They didn't even bring that shit up. Did Malik Scott or Deontay Wilder talk about Glovegate in this fucking interview? Did he or did he not? That's what I want to know. Have you guys seen this interview? For a yes or no? Please respond. Amok, people need to let go of the Glovegate. The conspiracy came from a casual fan using Walmart Velcro gloves. Yeah. I mean, for the people that know, I think certain people were supposed to say certain things. That's why JD's didn't say a lot. JD's was the one motherfucker that could have silenced it, and he didn't. You know what I mean? And it was either he wasn't or he couldn't, because he was like, hey, shut the fuck up, or we're going to fire you, or because I'm thinking about firing you anyway. I don't know. I don't know how the conversation went. He just heard an earful. That's all we heard, right? So we don't really know if that happened or not. We don't know if that happened. We just know JD's did not say any fucking thing about Tyson Fury. And don't you guys think that's strange? The guy that's the head trainer of Deontay Wilder never spoke on the accusations that his fighter mentioned. That don't even make sense, does it? I mean, the first person you want to hear from, especially with a glove scandal, is the motherfucker that checked him. Am I right or am I wrong? Think about what I'm saying, people. Kurt, seriously, I really like Fury, but I watched the last Fury versus Wilder fight many times, and honestly, Wilder didn't look right. No, he didn't look right, technical madman. But here's the thing. Was that because he had a flu, fucking COVID, or something was wrong? Was his water spike? What the fuck was wrong with him? Does that automatically mean that Tyson Fury cheated him because he didn't look right? I'm just asking a question. Does that mean, hey, well, I didn't feel right, man, I was off? Everything was fucked up with Wilder that day. It happens. Sometimes you go to work and everything fucks up. I know that for a fact. Things are not together. You're missing something. You're losing something. You can't find something, right? You're just not sharp. You're just not where you need to be. You've had better days. I get that. But at the end of the day, does that mean Tyson Fury put some egg weight shit in his gloves, took some cushion out of his gloves? The gloves was fucked up and tampered with from the get-go. And if that's the case, that's JD's. If that's any of those the cases, it's JD's fault. Right? But obviously, him stopping the fight was much more than the Glovegate conspiracy. Why? Because the Glovegate's conspiracy ain't really been mentioned since he's won the arbitration. You were more worried about fighting again besides someone fighting you right or wrong, right? On an even playing field. So you're more worried about a fight with that guy than that guy cheating you. That's strange. You see what I'm saying? It like those type of things really trip me out when people leave factors out of shit. When you leave factors of truth and reality and parts about certain stuff, you know what I mean? Like, what the fuck was JD's? You know, I know he cheated me. The first person I would have fired was JD's. That motherfucker would have been gone. You gotta go. Why? Because you let this man cheat me. You know, I liked you, Jay, but Jay, you can't stay. Bars. You gotta go. There's no way. There is no way I'm gonna let you, because you're not even competent enough to stay in my corner. Trev Stoker. Y'all mad over here because Wilder fucks with the LDBC. Why the fuck would I be mad because he fucks with the LDBC? The LDBC fucks with them. Trev? Like, why, you know, why would you be mad about that? I mean, they support American black fighters. That's the MO. So why wouldn't they? I don't get that, you know. Now I know people are bent. People are mad though, Trev. People are fucking upset because we don't get to see an undisputed fight. But guess what? If things happen the way they're supposed to happen, we wouldn't have seen an undefeated fight for Tyson Fury and Joshua would have meant an injustice to boxing. Now I'm gonna tell you this, and I want you guys to pay attention. You're like, what the fuck you mean? This is what I mean, because there's other fighters that have other obligations and have. That's just like White not getting his shot. White's supposed to got his shot, right? That was an injustice to boxing. That was injustice to a boxer. Therefore, it's an injustice to boxing. It's the sport that I love, that I hate so much because of that reason. White's supposed to got his opportunity. Pulev got his opportunity. Usyk should get his opportunity. Wilder should get his opportunity. Why does this happen? Because it's justice to boxing. That's what that means. You know what I mean? That's all that really means. It's been out that Wilder and Fury planned this. Yeah, I'm sure they did, Lady Shan. I'm sure they did plan it. You know, and to move on forward in this interview about what Wilder said, Wilder started talking about it's disrespectful and unprofessional to which I'm going to do another video on this tomorrow just to recap, but this it's unprofessional and disrespectful to plan another fight with another fighter knowing you have obligations with me. He was 100% right. However, if you motherfuckers planned it, you were in on it. You know what I mean? And it's like, yo, you weren't vocal enough and say, well, hey, you guys need to stop with the bullshit because we have the obligation. Don't believe Bob. Don't believe Frank. Don't believe fucking Tyson Fury. But what Wilder said, he said, well, they all knew. So he was like, hey, Eddie Hearn knew, and Bob, Arum, and Frank, and all these guys, everybody knew. All parties knew that they had an arbitration with us. He did say that. Now, I can't say he didn't say that. Okay, but if it was a plan the whole time, he was in on the plan, so that made him no different than what the shit he pulled in 2018. You talked about like he said, Wilder said this. Well, you guys promoted a fight that was never going to happen or that was never scheduled. But I mean, so did Wilder. He did the same fucking thing. Wilder did the same shit. He talked about a fight that could have happened. He just didn't want. He agreed once about the 15 million, then turned around and then said he didn't agree because there was no contract clause, rematch clause. That's why, oh, well, I did and I didn't. And then you think about that, right? Let's look at that for a minute. You agreed to something before knowing the facts. For one, that's fucked up already by itself. That's already stupid because that means you said yes before even knowing what the facts were. Then when it got back like, hey, it's no contract clause. So why did you say yes and agree when you knew there was no contract clause? Because we don't know if you seen that before or not. You could have just used that as excuse why you wasn't going to fucking agree to fight. You see what I'm saying? He could have just decided, no, we ain't going to fight. Fuck that. Without a rematch clause, we changed our mind. So how do we know if he changed his mind or not? We won't know. But we do know he did this. They did this. Team Wilder agreed to 15 million. Then turned around and said they didn't agree to 15 million. That's a fact. Prove me fucking wrong. So, yes, to say all that to say this, Wilder promoted a fight with Joshua while he had another fight with Fury. He was on British television talking about how a coward Joshua was. And Tyson Fury let him, but he let him because they were doing the same shit. They were in on it. So yeah, I'm exactly, Carl Green. Boom, counterpunch. Enough said. You know what I mean? Marvel, baby. It's Marvel up in this piece. So yeah. Oh, absolutely. He's been fighting mandatories since 2016. He has, Zach. I mean, that's his job. He's just doing his damn job. If you can't get a unification or an undisputed fight, you have to do what you've already accomplished. You have to maintain the job titles that you already have. The WBO, the WBA, the IBF. He had to mandate all those. He had to fight them. And that's something both of those guys know nothing of. See, while Fury is a guy that he won the unified championship, but he never defended anything, so it's nulled, right? Wilder has been the WBC champion, or was, for 10 title defenses for 5 years. But with Mauricio's dirty ass, he really didn't even have to do what he's supposed to have done. Because had he supposed to have done something, he would have done that by fighting White. But he didn't. The Mauricio helped him. So then again, if Mauricio helped Wilder, how the fuck is everybody against Wilder? Wouldn't Mauricio one of the names that I mentioned that he said that were against him? That's who Tay Jones attacks. And we called him lying. Yeah, he lied, but he's a politician. He lied about, I was there in the dressing room. I was there for both fights. We made sure that the fights the commission was there. Bullshit. You see what I mean? He said it. He was there. But no, it sucks. It sucks, but it's right for boxing. Wilder supposed to got his decision. He's supposed to got his opportunity. He has it. You can't argue with that. You can be pissy mad or do this and do that, whatever. It doesn't matter. It does not matter. And Wilder did something Vladimir fucking couldn't do. But the only reason Vladimir couldn't do it was because Tyson Fury got the fuck out of Dodge. He stopped fighting. He got fat, started eating and drinking and doing drugs and coke and booger sugar and all that shit, right? He started doing all that and got out of the game. And then, mental illness. Oh, I'm not mentally stable. I'm out. Like fucking Ryan Garcia's doing now. I can't now. Mental illness. I have a bad dose of mental illness today. You know what I mean? So that's why. See, and I think with the same manager, which is Shelly Finkel, Shelly Finkel would have instructed Vladimir to do the same shit. Because they had the same type of rematch clause stipulations in that contract. And Tyson Fury would have lost again. He would have lost then. And Tyson Fury told you when he jumped in the ring all drunk against Deontay Wilder and told him, I'll fight you anytime, anywhere, you bum. He even told you he wasn't ready for a fight. He wasn't in any type of physical condition to fight anybody. He was a fucking lush, bro. That's what he was. He was a lush. He wasn't prepared. He was going down a downward spiral. Now you can blame that on you can blame that on mental illness or whatever. You know what I mean? But he was drunk. No, it's not. It's not at all. But I'm going to tell you something, Billy D. It ain't nothing to fucking fake on either. See, depression is nothing to joke about or to laugh about at all. But at the end of the day, it's nothing to fuck with and lie on either. Because there's people that have mental illnesses. So if those motherfuckers are not mentally ill, don't act like you're mentally ill and you don't act like you are and you're not. And there was some other shit that stopped you from doing it. You know what I mean? You got popped for, you got busted and like, look, I'm in a bad spot. Let me get the fuck out of Dodge. Let me use mental illness. You know what I'm saying? Only Tyson can tell us that. I'm not calling Tyson a liar. What I'm saying is only Tyson can tell you if he was telling the truth about that mental illness or not. That's what I'm saying. So no, I don't want people to think I'm making fun of Tyson Fury. No, it's a lot of people with mental illness. Look, there are certain forms of mental illness, and it's nothing to play with. If your mind turns on you to self-destruct yourself, to harm your body, that's a problem. Okay, so I want people to understand. No, I'm not saying That what I'm saying is, please don't be using that shit as an excuse or a lie or a cover up. That's what I'm saying. Does that make sense to people? You know, yeah, he was drinking, he was this, he was that. You know, it is what it is. Mental patients don't play mental games. Oh, I don't know. I have no idea. Fury's going to break your heart, Kurt. I hope not, because that sounds really bad. Like, break your face is better, but break your heart, that's not like, I don't know what you mean by that. Like, what do you mean? Is he going to hurt himself? Look, if the man's mental and he has problems, because, I mean, look, let's go back to real mental illness, people that really had mental illness. And Alexis Arguello, God bless the dead, he had mental illness. He attempted to take his own life years before he actually took his own life. You guys understand what I'm saying? That's real, okay? That's nothing to play with. That's nothing to joke about. Mental illness. You know, like, yeah, that's a real case. I mean, isn't Parkinson's mental illness? You know? What do you think about the thought if Wilder beats the crap out of Fury, Glovegate was real? Plus, for some weird reason, I feel like Wilder will knock Fury out. I don't know how, but look, look, anybody can catch. If Wilder could catch him, now I want you guys to listen to me. If Wilder in the first fight could catch him two times, the 9th and the 12th, if he can catch this man like he did before, right? And that's with not even really having a game plan. Hit him with the right hand. That's your game plan. But now you come in with a game plan to knock him out, which more than likely you have to land the right hand, but at least you have a way or a strategy to get there. Yes, the chances looks good for Wilder hitting him Fury with that right hand. But here's the problem with that. It's a bittersweet situation because like you're saying, D-Neek, right? Yes, the usual suspects will say, see, Tyson Fury cheated. See what I mean? Or everything about Wilder was true if Wilder wins. Okay? That's exactly what's going to happen. You know what I mean? And and see if Wilder hits him with something, and look, logic tells you if he catches him with something that is of significance early, how would you prove that Tyson Fury cheated him? See, the stupidest thing about what people want to ride and sign petitions and all that dumb shit, you know what the problem is? You're letting people know and you're making a noise big enough to say that somebody did somebody else wrong. But how are you going to prove that shit now when you're saying and doing all this shit to let it be known that this guy did this other guy wrong? Counterpunch. You guys understand what I'm saying? You can't say, yeah, he's a cheater. He's a cheater. I hope his coach burns in a fucking car fire and dies. He's a cheater. Let's ride. Yeah, let's do this shit. And then what ends up happening is what? Okay, if I'm Tyson Fury and I know I got to hide the horns and I know I did that shit, okay, these dumb motherfuckers won't catch me now. Counterpunch. They ain't gonna catch me now. I didn't do it once, not twice, but I did it twice. Right? Not one time, but twice I done this shit. You dumb fucks. Now you letting me know that you guys know? You let me know that you know. I'll let you know you stole from me. I'm gonna catch you, but I know you stole from me. I told everybody I know that you're a thief. Well, if that's the case, dumbass, well, I know not to steal from them. Look, that's the type of shit I'm talking about. That's why it only comes off as an excuse, because the more people you tell, the element of surprise is out the fucking window. You can't surprise a person and you let everybody you know that this person done this to you. There's no secret no more, is it? Part of being a thief is a person not knowing that he's going to steal from you. If you say, hey, yo, that dude's a fucking thief right there. Watch him. Okay, he ain't stealing shit from me. Am I right? Am I wrong? Nikki Stoltz. Seen a bit of the interview. Deontay still thinks he's the best heavyweight in the world. I think he's delusional. Nikki, I think he needs to fight these motherfuckers so we can find out. Appreciate your super chat. Appreciate you, brother. That's what I think he needs to do. 100%. Blue cheese, no fleas, bars. Will Wilder answer critical questions in the run-up? Probably not. But here's the deal. He has to be asked those type questions. He can't. He has a lot on his plate to answer, and he created that, not anybody else. So he has to be prepared to answer all that shit. Okay? He has to be prepared to answer all that shit. Fury taking diving lessons from Malik Scott. I doubt that shit. No. That's bullshit. He ain't taking look, FPS Liam 420. He ain't taking no diving lessons. Not Tyson Fury. Oh, hell to the no. You know why I know he ain't? Because Tyson Fury knows, hey, I got a bigger fight brewing besides this shit with Wilder. I'm just stretching it so I can get me a tune-up. It's equal. It's even. They both haven't fought anybody since they fought each other. Let the shit be. Let it be done. It ain't no fucking way in hell that Tyson Fury's going to take a dive for Wilder. For what? For Wilder to get the fucking money possibly that he could have got? Wilder ain't a fucking idiot, people. He ain't stupid. He ain't stupid. Right? Kurt, you don't know shit. Okay. Well, you're here. So guess what? I guess we all don't know. Don't you and me. We don't know shit either, money man. Right? So it is what it is. Welcome to the show. Mr. Old School, can a skull be dented or would it crack like an egg? I'm doing research and getting conflicting information because a fracture is a crack, not a dent. Look, for one thing, the morons use terminology that doesn't make sense. You don't say a dent in your skull. You should say a crack or a fracture. It was either broken or it was a fucking fracture. You're right, Mr. Old School, okay? It's not a fucking dent. A dent could only be there genetically, right? A fracture can be there for some kind of blunt trauma. Sure, it could. It could be that, yes. But at the end of the fucking day, it doesn't fucking dent. And you don't call an autopsy an evaluation medically. An autopsy is when you're dead. People know that. We're not fucking morons. But morons say stupid shit because they don't know the right type of terminology, how to word shit. So that's why people don't take them seriously. Because when his brother said, the autopsy said, you dumb fuck, shut up. If I'm Wilder, if I'm Deontay, I'd have told my brother, my younger brother, man, shut the fuck up. Why you say that? Just shut up. I got this. That's what he should have done to his brother. Kurt, I think you're right. Kurt, I actually like to see him fight Dillian White or Ruiz after Fury. And if he wins, see if he can fight Joshua. Yeah, look. Joshua has enough on his plate fighting tough, mandatory fighters. Usyk is no walk in the park. I keep telling fucking people that. And if you believe me, watch. You're going to see. You're going to see what I'm talking about real damn soon. And don't say I didn't tell you so. And then everybody's going to say, Kurt, you're right. I'm just telling you. Like I told you, Joe Joyce was going to beat the shit out of Dubois. The experience is going to prevail. What happened? Beat the shit out of Dubois, and the experience prevailed. That's exactly what happened. Now, am I right all the time? No. But I'm just telling you what I see based on what's going on in the sport, because I follow the sport. That's all you got to do. Follow the sport. Follow the sport and follow the fucking money. And speaking of following the money, that's why Tyson Fury will never take a dive against Wilder. He ain't going to do that now. It's more in the line. You can call me a cheat. You talked about my people. You've done this. You've done that. I got to beat you. I got to show you. I got to whoop you worse than I did last time. It's going to be one hell of a fight. Regardless of what you think and what you want right now, we're not going to get it. Usyk has his time. Wilder has his time. Okay? That leaves all this other bullshit out the window. So let's stop talking about Joshua and fucking Fury. It ain't happening right now, if it even happens. Because what if Wilder lands that right? Bomb squad! He's going to do that shit. Then he's going to parade, and he's going to ride, and they're going to turn over cars and and burn buildings down and shit. That's what's going to happen. Fury is a cheat. Hey, There you go. My case in question. The question is, how are you going to catch this motherfucker now? Now, what do you think? He's like R. Kelly? He get away with it and then fucking he gets caught on down the line? You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, it's so stupid that people say, oh, well, he cheated. You guys are using that shit for an excuse, and that's the intention. The intention is, hey, he cheated. We can't prove it. There's the reason why Wilder lost. We have to save face. He cheated. We can't prove it. Fuck you. He still cheated. But it don't really matter because you can't prove it. So what's the point? The point is it's an excuse. That's what you're using it for. You're using it to sell the third fight, because the third fight is not even relevant. The way that man got beat up, it was fucked up. And see, I know it angers them cats watching Wilder get beat again and again and again. He got mauled. I know it makes them mad. Every fucked up, prejudiced, racial bone in their body is fucking twitching every time they see Fury fucking. And look, and the thing is, you know, people, let's look at it like this, because we have to call a spade a spade. If you have like a bunch of Nazis, that's like a bunch of Nazis like Hitler and all these motherfuckers walking around, because it's the same spirit. It's all hate. You know what I'm saying? It's all hate. So it's like Hitler walking around, him in a group of guys, they're watching fucking Joe Louis beat the shit out of Max Schmeling. Scheisse! Watching fucking Joe Louis hit him in the side and making him holler and shit. You know what I mean? Beating the shit out of him. And then that's like Hitler and all these cats looking around the night's table talking about Scheisse! Exactly. Hate is hate. It don't matter what you are. If you do the same thing that you don't like other people doing and you do the same shit, you no different than them. You know, two wrongs don't make a right. Right? You know, hey, you're a murderer. You did wrong. Right? So I'm going to kill you. Okay. Well, we're both fucked. We'll kill him because you killed some. No, both killers. Don't work that way. You know what I mean? Yeah, you know what I mean? You could fucking hear that probably what caused Hitler to blow his brains out. Fucking Max smelling kind of dick suck. Blow! You know, when Joe Louis put them brown bombs on him, fucked them up, right? Come on now. That's the equivalent. Those guys seeing it, man, he cheated. Dude, stop. But here's the thing. It's not about the fans, it's about the person. The person is Wilder, not his fans. Fuck his fans. Fuck the followers, because at the end of the day, they can't fight for him. Wilder has to fight for Wilder. At the end of the day, Wilder has to fight for Wilder. Fury has to fight for Fury. So all the Fury fans, all the Wilder fans, you guys can talk till your fucking face turns blue. It don't matter. What's going to happen in that ring is going to happen. Wilder's looking like he's preparing himself. Tyson Fury said he's been ready. So let's see if he's going to be ready. That's what it's about. Do I wish he loses? You know what? I don't wish anyone loses. I just see how the progression of boxing goes. If you follow boxing and not fighters, you can't say, man, I hope he does. No, I didn't say that shit. The curiosity is something that would, just for examination and just, hey, how certain situations would go in alternatives. Like, okay, let's look at it this way. It would be interesting to see Tyson Fury beat Wilder, because then you would say, well, hey, where's the excuses at? Because it will be some. That's one thing. But if Wilder knocks out Fury, then you're like, okay, all right, well, he knocked out Fury. Fury, your payday's out the fucking window. Right? But then at the end of the day, then it will be annoying. It will be annoying because the same people who are talking, oh, he cheated, are going to be the same fucking people that say that's why he scored the knockout. No, he scored the knockout because he put a game plan together and he knocked Fury ass out. None of that other shit. And that's what I would tell people if he done that. The hate you have for Wilder is unreal. How in the fuck is it? Well, yeah, I hate Wilder. Fuck out of here, dude. You know what I mean? See, look at this. Look at this, guys. What's his name? G. He says the hate you have for Wilder is real. See, that's butthurt, sensitive ass fucking grown men saying this type of shit. Now, when have I hated on Wilder anytime in this fucking podcast? Beside he got beat up. See, you can't even see a guy got beat up without being a hater. You see what I'm saying? You can't even say, yo, he got beat up. Man, you hating. You hating. The hate is real. No, the ass whooping was real. The ass whooping was real. Not the hate. I don't hate nobody. But the ass whooping was, though. I can't stand excuses. Dylan Wade, counterpunch. Dylan Wade, how do you think a 45-year-old Vladimir Klitschko would shake up the division right now? Heavyweight boxing feels like the 90s again. I love it. Dylan, Klitschko would be a problem for a lot of people. He would be a problem for someone like Andy Ruiz. He would outbox Andy Ruiz. I don't give a shit. Fat Ruiz, less fat Ruiz, it don't matter. He would outbox somebody like Ruiz. Why? Because, see, what will end up happening with Vladimir, he will be able to control someone shorter. Him fighting Wilder now, I don't know what type of shape Wilder's in. It would be interesting to see a 45-year-old fighter fight Wilder because he knows Wilder. He knows his punches. But then, you know, again, we haven't seen Wilder. So, you know what I mean? Based on what we know of Wilder, it's hard to gauge how he will be, him hitting those mitts. He looks great. He looks good, you know, but at the same time, you don't really know. Him fighting Joshua, I think it will be competitive probably in 6 rounds. Joshua might catch him with something, you know, because Joshua's got a lot better. You know what I'm saying? So, but him beating guys, I would love to see him fight White. You know what I'm saying? I mean, because when you're a heavyweight, and George Foreman is a witness to this, you don't need the stamina that you needed in other weight classes. You just need, and look, Klitschko is not a guy that gets tired, people. The motherfucker's a gym rat, for Christ's sake. That's what he does, man. That's what he does. He trains, like he says, almost every day. You think that man will whoop me? I train maybe twice a week. And I'm younger. I'm a lot younger than Vladimir. You know what I mean? No, bro. Look. A heavyweight, you still have the power. He still has speed. He's still awkward. He has that jab and grab style. He will give fighters problems. That's why he gave fighters fucking problems for 10 years. Him and his brother. Using the same style, because that style dealing with a real big man is very hard to deal with. So Dylan, yes, he would be very well. He could do a very good job. See, KO King, chicken leg Deontay. See, that's hating. That's hating right there. You see what I mean? You know, you don't say shit about him. You know? Denique, yo, Wilder should quit boxing and pursue acting because that is what he's been doing. You would be great as Clubber Lang's son in Creed 3. Wilder outside the ring is cool as hell. Agree? I don't, you know what? I think Wilder, I think he clicks with certain people. I think he does. I don't think he's just an asshole. I think he let his ego get the best of him, but that was allowed. Okay. That was allowed. I think that if he wouldn't have had non-real if he would have had non-yes men around him, he would have had a totally different outlook on how boxing is supposed to be. They just followed him. It's almost like this. If you have nobody to question or to make you think, and you are only left with your thoughts and everybody's agreeing with you, you will never grow mentally at all. And I don't think he grew. I think at the end of the day, I think people were around him that let him do whatever the fuck he wanted to do. And that's the last thing you want to do, especially if you're not learning and that fighter's not learning anything. So at least now he's learning stuff. As far as acting, he said, Denique, He said that he wanted to be an actor. He said that's his passion. Now it's back to boxing. Go figure. You see what I'm saying? I wonder if that shit's true or not. But he did say about acting. He said, yo, I want to, you know, I would love to be an actor, because when Sylvester Stallone, you know, brought up the idea of Creed 3 and he could have been Clubber Lang's son, I would love to see that. I mean, you think Deontay Wilder doesn't have the type of personality to be an actor? Fuck yeah, he does. Because he's very emotional. He's a very emotional fighter. He reminds me of a tall theatrical actor, you know, because they have to project off screen. Okay, anything about acting, you have to project like, yeah, bomb squad, you know, those type of things. He projects, you know, he's a good projectionist, and you know, like he went off on Radio Raheem, you know what I mean? You know, you could see the intensity. He's intense. Yeah, he would be a great actor. So yeah, he could do that. And he's in shape. He's naturally lean. He ain't got no fat on him. You know what I mean? He's a lean, slender guy, and he's strong as hell. You know, ask the guys that he knocked out, right? So he's not a dude. He might want to bulk up a little bit just for the, you know what I'm saying? But I think he would be really well at doing that. Now, has he been acting? I know they've been bullshitting about selling and putting people's names in their mouths. He's done that. You know, Joshua, he's done that shit. But, you know, is he a cool guy? I think he's cool. You know, but again, it's hard to know if a person's all that cool without just really getting to know him. Like, I'm going to tell you guys, like I said before, but I used to rag on Richard Steele. You know, he's a promoter, and he is also was a referee for years. And he got a very bad rap when he stopped the Mildred Taylor Chavez one fight with 3 seconds left. Mildred Taylor beat Julio Cesar Chavez damn near every round until Julio stopped him. Well, he didn't stop him. He dropped him in the 12th round, and he waved the fight off. Richard Steele did that. And every time, you know, Richard Steele would come up, Richard Steele, they'd be like, ooh, ooh, right? But at the end of the day, you know, I couldn't stand him until I met the man. He was the nicest guy I ever wanted to meet, and I kind of felt like a dickhead because he was actually a cool guy. He was a cool brother, and I liked him. I liked his attitude. You know what I mean? He one of those guys you want to sit down and talk to. You know, kind of reminded me of like an older uncle. You know what I'm saying? Like I used to have. So it wasn't even the animosity that I thought or had because of the decision that he made had nothing to do with him meeting him personally. So then it made me just really realize, like, yo, maybe people are not what they think. Basically, what they do doesn't reflect on who they are entirely. You know, if he avoided Joshua for more money, that's what he did. And then to recap on you guys, to say, hey, everybody's talking about money, but money and everything. But it was the same guy that said, hey, we want to make the most money as possible for a Joshua fight. You see what I'm saying? So it's contradicting in that regard, because now he's like, it ain't all about the money. Now it's about the legacy. Well, you lost. Before it was all about the money. You didn't give a shit about the legacy or becoming unified or any of that bullshit, because he was the WBC belt holder and he didn't care about none of that. Now it's a new task I feel that he wants to take on, and that's that. Okay, first prediction: Wilder inside 7. Listen, Wilder could be inside 1 if he catches you right and with the right type of referee. Like a non-lean, like if all they need is Robert Byrd, all they need is Robert Byrd, and all Wilder needs to do is hit him hard like he did, whatchamacallit. Robert Byrd will stop the fight when Tyson Fury hits the ground. That's a fact, because he's done it. He did it to Danny Jacobs when what's his name? Fuck that guy's name. He was a Russian fighter. Damn it. And now I'm going to look it up. He dropped Danny Jacobs. Danny Jacobs took his first Dmitry Pitrog, right? So Pitrog caught him with a flush punch right on the ropes, because at times Danny will he's like a deer in headlights a lot of times. So a lot of times he pit wrong. Exactly, Jacob. Appreciate you. And he caught him. He didn't even fucking count. He caught when Robert Byrd. No, he did. He counted to 4. And when he got up, when he attempted to get up, Robert Byrd pushed this man down. He pushed this man's chest down and waved the fight off. Wilder had a referee like that on a technicality, because that's the way that he referees. Because I call those guys lazy referees. They don't give the fighter any type of opportunity to see where they are. You know, he could say, well, I looked at his eyes didn't look right or whatever, but I mean, you didn't even fucking count. So if he had a guy like that, Wilder catches your ass with that and Fury goes down just like Danny did, yeah, he'll see, oh, this fight's over. This was an easy fight. Shit, I don't have to push these motherfuckers apart for 12 rounds. It's over. It's over. Antonio Giles, Wilder boxed good against Stavern the first fight, but I think the second fight, Stavern fight, gave Wilder the big head. He started relying on that right hand after that. You know, yes, he did. And I seen him box and move, even though, you know, he was setting him up with that jab and follow with that lazy left hook against the Vern, but he was popping his ass from a distance, and he was using angles. You're absolutely right, Antonio. A lot of times people don't give that fight enough credit. He had to deal with a guy that was shorter, stockier, and he wasn't budging. He was the only guy that survived Wilder up until that point. Everybody else met their demise. Okay, but then when he came into the second fight, Wilder knocked him out. But yeah, Antonio, I think he did rely too much on power after that. But I think that had a combination of that along with the yes men around him, like JD. Yeah, you can knock out anyone, Deontay. Yeah, I'm going to go to the bar. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's what that was, you know. Also, though, I will say this about the Wilder Stavern 2 fight. Stavern deserved that shit. He deserved that shit, man. You should have heard the shit Stavern was talking at Wilder, and Wilder was quiet. He wasn't saying much. But he was saying, you know, I'm willing to die in the ring. I will catch a body. I don't care. I catch a body. I will die and kill. And I'm talking all this shit. Right? Talking all that shit. And Wilder was like, okay. And he knocked that guy out. So that was a nice little before and after, you know, like before. I will catch, I will kill. I don't care. I will catch a case. I will catch a case. I will catch a case. Right? No, that's Stavern, Zach. Yeah, I did, King. I did. Jab the like button. I know, right? Stavern was out of shape. Yeah, it was out of shape. But then again, people, Stavern was fucking like 41 years old. All right? He was old. Let's see how old is Stavern now. Let's see. How old is Bermain Stavern?
42 years old.
So he's 42. So no, he was 39 when he fought him. So roughly about 3 years. But he was late 30s. I thought it was older. So my fault. Brittany Devine, their teams need to stop trying to milk the cows before sending their fighters to possibly get beat by AJ. It's long-term greed. It is. Because Brittany, if they would really been thinking about faith and confidence in their fighter, they would have put Wilder in at his best possible moment to beat some guy like Joshua. If they wait, Joshua gets the better hand because he's younger than those guys. He's about, 5 years younger than Wilder? He'll go in there and do some damage to Wilder that he probably wouldn't have done if he had not Wilder fought him in 18. That's been fucking 3 years ago, Brittany. Everybody knows that. So at the end of the day, when people keep on, oh, man, let's get all the money we can make, though, Wilder ain't the same. Wilder already got the shit beat out of him. If you get beat to the point where you feel the dude had something in his hands, you got your ass beat. You know, he hit me with something. I know he did. He hit you with something. All right. He beat your ass. It felt like that. You know what I mean? You ever seen the saying like, hey, yo, it was like 10 of them. No, it was one. And that one guy beat you to a pulp. You know what I mean? It is. Brittany Devine. Oh, my God. Cut that out. Getting cupped head. Matter of fact, that's not right. That's right. K1NG. That's right. And you keep listening. So welcome. Counterpunch to you. Antonio Matthews, the new bitter AJ should say to Wilder Fury 60-40 non-negotiable. Well, I mean, it's a split. So if Joshua did say 60-40, it's a split. But here's the thing, though. If you want to get business-wise and people are going to start getting pissed, and Wilder fans, I know you guys are going to get mad. Fuck you. I don't care. What would warrant Wilder, or what was the difference between what Wilder made or what Wilder was sure what he was offered was what he was offered? He turned the deal down. He didn't get it. But who did he beat to get 50-50? He lost to Fury. He drawed with Fury, and he still wasn't worth 50%, right? You beat a leftover, the fake mandatory, Mr. Frankenstein, Dominic Brazil. Then you beat Ortiz again. Okay, you done that already, so that's supposed to up your stakes. Then you get beat by Fury. So is that warrants you 50-50? Sure, a split, yeah. And I think if anything, it should go to purse bid. I think it should be 25% for Wilder and 75% for Joshua. But Eddie Hearn already said whoever the winner would be should get 50-50. But see, he said the winner, and the winner was who? Tyson Fury, not Wilder. And he was talking about the second fight, not this fucking fight. You see what I mean? Well, there you go. 20%. You know, hey, it is what it is. Wilder has missed the boat, should have stepped up a few years ago back rather than cherry picking. Well, I mean, I think he was after a cherry pick that he already picked, and then the shit went bad. And his name was Tyson Fury. He thought he was going to knock Tyson Fury out, get him out of the way, shut him up, prove him wrong. Like he said that this guy's done. Tyson Fury came back, proved that he wasn't done. Not only that, then went back and beat the shit out of him. So, yes, he has a lot of things to work on. He has a lot of things to prove. But see, during that time from 2018 of December to February of 2020, right, he was chasing Fury for a fight where he could have fought fucking Joshua for that much. He could have signed with the Zone, fought on the Zone, got that fight on. That could have been the fight, right? But a lot of other factors happen, you know, so it is what it is. You know, but yeah, the trilogy is 60-40, but that don't mean Joshua has to give his ass 40%. You know what I mean? But it depends. You know, his profile is higher now. People want to hear about Wilder. Why do you think the live stream is about Wilder? Because people want to hear about him. He talked his name up. He came around at the right time when a bright young star was rising up the ranks and getting all the belts, and his name was Anthony Joshua. So you talk up Joshua, the idea of fighting a guy that's already on his way up, that has surpassed you since you've been in the fucking game. Facts. Wilder ain't really done everything or anything for that matter. If Wilder was a guy that was supposed to be respected, like talking about, he would have beat one of them fucking Klitschko's, or at least been allowed to fight him. That's what I'm saying. He would at least been allowed to fight Vladimir or Vitali. Fuck Stavern, fight Vitali. No. You see what I mean? If his marketability was that like a Tyson or, you know what I mean, somebody like that, he would have done that. They wouldn't allow it was his management team. And I think Shelly Finkel was playing baby too much to him. He was trying to cater him too much. You know, sure, out of concern and care and whatever, but he didn't have the confidence in Deontay Wilder like that. That's the truth. So fuck it. That's why guys like Joshua making big bucks. And all Tyson Fury really had to do was take the easy route. He just beat Deontay. He beat Deontay and a bunch of fucking bums. That's it. All of them were fucking bums. Nobody heard of these guys. Pianetta, Safari. Who the fuck are they? The year after, the year later, right? Swartz, never heard of him. Fucking Otto Wallin, never heard of him either. But at least he made an account of himself. So he's making a somewhat sub name under himself under that because of that performance he had. And he busted his eye open a few times. That type of shit. Yes, but at the same time, who else did he do? What the fuck did he do? Yeah, he beat Klitschko, Roberto, fucking 6 years ago. Bars. What else did he do? Wilder? Drawed with Wilder, beat Wilder. Who did Wilder beat? Ortiz. Nobody else. Fuck. That's great. Great resume. Yeah. Yeah, there you go. There you go. Good job. Yeah, he dethroned Vlad. But fuck, what else? What have you done for me lately? Dun, 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 dun. Nothing. Talk up a Joshua fight that ain't gonna fucking happen. Bravo. Good job. Yeah, that's a good job, bud. Good job. Good fucking, yeah, good job. Yeah. Good job, Fury. Fuck. Wilder blocked Undisputed 4 times. Vlad versus Stavern. Bullshit. Wilder versus Vlad. Wilder versus AJ. AJ versus Fury. Wilder versus Stavern. No. He didn't block that shit. Now, it was blocked, but it wasn't him. It was his team, but it wasn't him. And let me explain. Those older cats like Shelly Finkel, Bob Arum, they don't have the mentality someone like Eddie Hearn has. What I'm saying is Eddie Hearn knows he works for these guys. He does what these guys want him to do. That's why he's the guy, right? That's why people look at him like, oh, it's fucking Eddie Hearn. And that's why he has so many fighters, because he does what they want him to do. That's what he works on, not what I feel because I'm the promoter and I know every fucking thing and I need to tell you what you need to do because you work for me. No, he doesn't have that mentality. Those older cats do. They have the mentality, him, Shelly Finkel, Bob Arum, they have the mentality that, hey, you work for my ass and I tell you what to do. That's why Shelly Finkel could say, you know what? No, Deontay Wilder is a baby champion. And guess what? If that was the case, why didn't Deontay Wilder say anything? Why? Because he did not own or he did not call any shots. Shelly Finkel did. That's how Shelly Finkel runs it. That's how Bob Arum runs it. That's how people fall out with Bob Arum. That's why he don't like them any longer, because they tell him, no, you can't do me like that, Bob. Fuck you. And then Bob gets into it with him with a contract and all that, and like Andy Ruiz did, and De La Hoya and Mayweather and all these motherfuckers that had a problem with Bob Arum because Bob Arum thought he ran the show. And he forgot it's not about his old ass, it's about the fighters. Okay, so no, that Vlad versus Stavern fight, no. He beat Stavern, so he should have fought Vlad. He wasn't allowed to. Sorry. That's what I'm saying. Now, Wilder versus Vlad. That again, that's exactly what I'm talking about. Wilder versus AJ, well, yeah, he had a problem with that, but again, it's, shitty management. AJ versus Fury, now we know what you're talking about. So yeah, the last two makes a little sense, but those other two had everything to do with probably someone else, more than likely, especially Vlad Stavern. All right. Smooth Will. But Kurt, honestly, nobody wanted Luis Ortiz at all, and Wilder fought him twice. Nobody wanted to fight him once. Let's give Wilder that, and he knocked him out twice. Yeah, no. Listen. Who else besides that? That's what I said, Smooth. I didn't say he didn't fight anyone. I said he didn't fight anyone except Luis Ortiz. And you're right. I think Luis Ortiz was avoided because, especially when he was with Matchroom, they avoided Luis Ortiz over there because they knew that man was a threat and he did not habla inglés. No habla inglés. Lo siento, pero no. Muy poquito. Inglés, muy poquito. Lo siento. Right? And they couldn't market that in England. And if he goes and does something like fuck White up or somebody else, what would that make them look? That's not marketable. Eddie Hearn was like, get rid of this dangerous fucking Cuban because I can't deal with him. Hell yeah, Roger, he ducked him for a rematch. You know what I mean? So how it ain't how what you do, it's how you ended it. And he got the fuck out of Dodge. Roger, he got out of Dodge, man. He got out of there. He was like, yo, he ain't doing that. Fuck it, I'd rather get drunk. You know? Kurt tells something for revenue. He expects for us as fans to dispute his commentary. All facts. Dude, Neely, Fuller, anything that I said wrong, fucking say that, tell me I'm wrong. What was I wrong about? Cherry picking Fury think he was a fat slob. Yeah, he did. They didn't avoid Ortiz. They didn't know who he was. Oh, yeah, they knew who he was. Bullshit. Who is they? Who are you referring to? You referring to Eddie Hearn? He used to be with Eddie Hearn. Try that again. Who are we talking about? PBC, Fox? They knew who he was. And see, here's the thing. Wilder didn't want to fuck with Ortiz back then because his excuse then was, oh, he's a cheat. I don't fight cheaters. I'll never fight cheaters. That's a fact. Prove me fucking wrong. That's what I'm talking about. No, they all ducked him at one point. Wilder fought him at 40 fucking years old. He fought him at 40. He didn't fight him at 30 fucking 7 or 36. No. None of that shit. See, it's a certain time. Father time beats us all. So if you ride that father time carpet, you will ride yourself into success with some guys that you probably couldn't beat before. Look at Oscar De La Hoya and Julio Cesar Chavez. Chavez dropped De La Hoya with a left hook when they sparred when he was in his prime, but he beat the shit out of him when they finally fought. Make that make sense. You see them? You see the difference? Wilder wouldn't have. Look, if Wilder would have fought Stavern the first time he fought, if he would have, listen, let's put it this way. If Wilder would have fought Luis Ortiz in January of 2015 instead of Stavern, he would have got his ass destroyed. Luis Ortiz would have destroyed Deontay Wilder in January of 2015. Okay, he's a bum. Okay, outlaw pugilist. What makes him a bum? Who else has beat him? Matter of fact, who else has fought him? Yeah, he's known for 2 losses. Okay, by the same guy. One guy has beat him. Ustinov. But who the fuck is Ustinov, really? Come on now. He ducked Ustinov. They were both signed for Golden Boy in the WBO order, the interim fight. But here's the thing. When did that happen? And the WBA also ordered him to fight Vladimir Klitschko at one point, or the winner of Vlad and Joshua. You know, which one would you pick? Hey, Ortiz beat the goat. He beat the rhino cock. Dave Allen. Yeah, Ortiz knocked him out. See, that's when he was with Matchroom. And see, I think it wasn't the fact that people didn't know Ortiz. The fact that they did not want to fuck with that guy, because that guy, he knocks you out. Then it's like, damn, you got a guy that's not really marketable here in this country, you know, or this region, knocking my fighters out. No, and I know that I can get guys like White, and White could fill up the fucking stages and, you know, the O2 arenas and stuff like that. You know, those type of things. Now, with Luis Ortiz and Dillian White, I don't know everything that was involved with those. Okay, I didn't know about those, you know, because, you know, Dillian White was like, yo, I offered this guy fucking money, you know, on a card. And I'm not going to call Dillian White a liar, but it's just like, those are the type of fights I want to see. Andy Ruiz fucking he ducked Luis Ortiz. So say he's nobody. And that's Andy Ruiz, the former unified heavyweight champion of the world. Come on now. But Luis Ortiz is a bum. Your motherfuckers are ducking that bum. Not ready. I can't fight Luis right now. Because Luis would have waxed that ass. Then we would have been talking about that old ass Ortiz beat the shit out of Andy Ruiz to become the first Cubano campeón. Wilder is a cancer on the heavyweight division, freezing White out, ducking AJ, and now all this fury stopping the undisputed. Lee Marsh, this is what Fury. Wilder has to play catch up. He has to make amends. Yeah, he has to make amends. Because if he doesn't, he's going to look like, hey, I'm the guy that fought this guy that I said that he wasn't worth the shit. I said that he couldn't punch. And this guy ended up beating the shit out of me to make my corner stop it. So he has to save face. Okay? He fought in a defective AJ. Okay, it didn't matter. He still ducked an old ass Ortiz though, Joe. I'm sorry. Whoever that was. Wait. Not Joe, but Topentine, right? Jay Roger, what happened to the dent in Wilder's head? Fucking dent looks fine to me. You know, it looked fine to me. I didn't see a dent. Dents don't go away when they pop the motherfucker back out. We're going to use this concoction, and it gets rid of dents. If we put it on the underside, it'll pop out on the other from the pressure around the circumference of the skull there, and the air will pop out that dent there in your head there. Fuck out of here, man. Wilder is a problem now. He could be a problem, and in clear and present danger is who? What's the clear and present danger? Tyson Fury. That's all Wilder should be talking about, thinking about. You know what I mean? And I think that's what he is. Now he's showing himself. Now he's proven himself. I'm proud of him. Why? Because people wanted this man to retire after he got beat by Fury. I'm like, I don't want him to fucking retire. He only got one loss. What the fuck's wrong with you guys? But I'm the hater, though. And I want Wilder to redeem himself, to fight and to prove himself. Kurt, I'm just checking in, dude. What's good? American Patriot 1776. Everything's good, brother. Everything's good. Yeah, the autopsy report. Mm-hmm. Andy is a fluke. Damn. Hey, you guys think Andy's a fluke? I need to put that on the community and ask. Yo, Kurt, I hope Wilder is the best. I just want to see undisputed. Well, yeah, everybody wants to see undisputed, but it's going to happen. And if Deontay Wilder knocks out knocks out Tyson Fury, I would love to see that fight, because they now have one loss. They've been through some shit. They've reacted different ways. They're two different people. They both were stopped in the 7th round, and they're both 2-time champions. Yes, I would like to see that. Fuck all that undisputed or undefeated shit. It doesn't matter. Undisputed is a lot better, and it means a lot more than undefeated. Okay? Kurt, if Deontay beats Fury, what's your take on his chances versus AJ? The same amount of fucking chances I give him before the fight started. He has a puncher's chance. If he catches you with that right hand, he could end your night or anybody's night. I always said that. It is not like Wilder can hit any fighter and hurt any fighter, including Andy Ruiz, and knock him the fuck out. Point blank with that right hand. You have never seen me say anything else besides that. I don't talk hate. I don't talk to criticize fighters. I just counterpunch and wonder what type people and why people do certain things. I call it like I see it. If Wilder can catch you at the right, he can end anyone's night. Bars. There's nothing more. It doesn't have anything to do with how much you like him or how much you don't like him or whatever. If the man can punch, you have to give credit when credit's due. Honestly, that little pad work of Wilder didn't impress much. But all jokes aside, if Wilder would have taken boxing seriously, he would be great. He would be a very good fighter. And I think hopefully Malik Scott can forward him into that direction. All he needed is a little seriousness and not people blowing smoke up his ass. That's all he really needed. That's all I ever wanted for Wilder. Everybody say, oh, man, you hate Wilder. I don't hate Wilder. I just expect more from him being an American heavyweight championship level, okay? Championship material. I expect more from Wilder. I would say the same shit about Joshua, too. If he was fucking swinging like a sissy and shit, I would have said the same shit about Joshua. It don't fucking matter. If he looked fucked up or he looked funny or he looked this or he looked that, he's going to get counterpunched. It don't matter who you are. It don't matter. Just like I think fucking Joshua needs to lose weight. And we will have diehard AJ fans will come to me telling me, oh, man, fuck you. You hate AJ. Watch, AJ's going to do this. Okay, well, that's fine. I'm glad you think that. Don't get butthurt at me because I'm telling you something or selling people something, and then certain people don't want to hear it. I mean, come on, man. You ain't never seen Wilder do the windmill. Come on, bro. You ain't never seen him do the windmill. That's what I'm talking about. That's all I'm saying. I'm just saying, if Joshua was doing that shit, fucking skipping rope, if he was doing that shit, yo, what the fuck? You mean Joshua, the one to skip rope Joshua? That's what I'd have probably called him. The British dude likes to skip rope and shit and wear Under Armour and shit and laugh all the time. That you know? Joshua would smash Fury inside 3 rounds. Well, hey, we may or may not ever see that. And it's all on Wilder. Right? Base Jiren always thought Wilder had a better chance against AJ than he does Fury because Fury has great head movement and is bigger. Still rooting for him, though. Well, Wilder has a delivery punch. That right hand is a quick, slick punch. It's very deceiving. Okay? People need to understand, regardless of what the fuck he swings like, he still can throw that right hand with with quickness. He can throw it with accuracy, and it's very lethal. And a lot of times, it's the speed behind that punch when he catches you on the end of it. Okay? That's the punch you don't see it coming. You know, it reminds me of, how damn near how Bernard Hopkins used to just throw that right out there. Almost like when Michael Jai White, was demonstrating how you throw a punch, and it's deceptive because you don't see a telegraph movement. It's just, you know what I mean? And then you guys can remember Malik Scott was telling him like, yo, no, just put it out there. Just put it out there. Nothing behind it. And he's doing that because he wants to have that right more deceptive. You know what I mean? He caught Ortiz with a perfect right hand. It was beautiful. He caught Ortiz, and Ortiz didn't see that shit. He didn't even know it was coming. You think Ortiz would have saw that, knew that was coming? No, he didn't see it. Bow! It was over with. Okay? Kurt, if AJ was doing a windmill and dominating the division, then get the fuck out of here. If Deontay is a shit boxer, then windmill or not, he shouldn't have lasted this long. Knocked down Fury twice. Rocco Sage. He lasted that long, not because he was windmill, because he had devastating knockout power. That's why. And Rocco, you need to watch a video. It's called Deontay Wilder, the One-Handed Champion. That one hand. And here's the thing. That one hand, people can't stop him from throwing it and knocking you out. So there you go. No, I'm with you. But then again, you have to question the opposition. It ain't Rocco. It ain't like Wilder's just been fighting all the fucking top guys. He fought Ortiz twice. Why couldn't one of them fucking be White? He could have got White out of there. He could have fought White in 2019, and then White would have, got his opportunity. Then we wouldn't have heard anything about any of that other bullshit. Okay? Instead of making Fury a mandatory to fight Deontay Wilder. Hold on, let me see. Rocco. Rocco said, Kurt, he knocked Fury's lights out. Hey, he did. Fury said he was knocked out for some seconds. He said that. You know what I mean? But does that mean he's a superb boxer, a good boxer with skill? I want somebody to improve, not throw one punch and knock a person out. It's a pragmatic, he can execute, but like what we've learned, that he had no game plan except throw that punch, except land that punch. That's what I'm saying. Wilder was scared of a puncher though. Turpentine. Great counterpunch. And I'm going to tell you, I agree with that. You know why I agree with that? Because Wilder's whole thing was, Fury, you can't punch. So what do you mean? That means, why do you want to jump back in the ring with somebody that can't punch? That means that more than likely you can punch, so you're going to knock him out before he knocks you out. He said that a many times. Like, how many people you seen Fury knock out? When the last person you seen Fury knock out? Remember, he's used to say that type of shit. So that tells me, like, okay, well, we know that a guy that had a higher knockout percentage than you have problems fighting him, but all of a sudden you can fight a guy that can't fucking punch. Come on now. Think about what I'm saying. Fury can't punch, but Joshua can. You'll fight Fury easy on the drop of a dime, but you won't give Anthony Joshua no time. Come on now. So that makes sense. Yeah, so maybe he's avoiding punches himself. So it's easy to fight somebody that can't punch. He's no threat, right? Frankie, exactly. Wilder never prepared for what would happen with a boxer who couldn't hit. There you go. There you go, Brittany. Counterpunch to you. He never prepared for that. He didn't have to, because he wouldn't get in the ring with a motherfucker that can punch. You see what I mean? That's what I'm talking about. Frankie, Nostros. Deontay Wilder was stopped on his feet. When? You mean against Ortiz? Yeah. Or, well, against Fury. Ronald, I don't know. Fury has to stay away from the right hand. He does. He needs to stay away from the right hand. Nunu. Yes, Ortiz can punch, Nunu. You're right. But if you can recall, after that fight, Wilder said that Ortiz couldn't punch. He said, I told y'all he couldn't punch. Please look it up. Press conference after he beat Ortiz the first fight. Look it up. Fight Hype, Fight Hub. It's there, Nunu. Check that shit out. So that tells you, if you're in there with a guy that you claim that can't punch, that's a less risk to you mentally. That's why you want to bring your ass in there, because you don't believe that he can punch. See, if he knew Tyson Fury was going to beat the shit out of him the second time, or if he knew what the outcome was going to be, he wouldn't have fought Tyson Fury, because he didn't think Tyson Fury can do what he's supposed to done. That's the thing. That's why Fury get all them haters. And all I was saying, like, yo, you don't know this man cheated and you can't prove that he's cheating, shut up and stop saying it. Wilder couldn't stop him from punching him. That's what the defense was for. He couldn't take him out. He didn't have no fucking legs for some strange reason, right? He didn't have any legs from up under him. I don't know what was going on with him. Bad day at the office, right? But he got his ass beat, though. That's it. Now he needs to come back. Wilder will beat Fury, then Joshua for undisputed. Hey, if that is the way that's supposed to go, it will happen that way. It will, and here's the deal. You can't say Wilder hasn't fought anyone and he's fought the top two. But after he does that, you don't retire. He said, I have about 5 years left. You got to whoop all these other guys. Fight White, fight Ruiz. Then you can fight all those other guys. Fight Joyce, Dubois, Ajagba. There's a lot of guys to fight still. There's a lot of people out there. Usyk. Depends on what Usyk. And it might not even fucking be Joshua at all. It might be fucking Usyk. Now you're dealing with a fucking river dancing, right? Fury soft. Wilder has held this division for 5 years. He's no good and he's faced nobody. How come no one sees that? Well, I mean, that's what I'm trying to explain to people. Wilder, with the fighters that he had, like, yeah, I have 10 title defenses against who? You know? And then the guy that had skill and a guy that was once washed up came back and you couldn't even beat this motherfucker. You beat Ortiz you fight him a couple of years after you said you never fight him, mind you. Then you fight him, you beat him. Oh, good for you. Good. But I mean, who else is it? Dominic Brazil? Dominic Brazil already got fucking creamed by Joshua. He got the piss beat out of him by Joshua. Joshua broke Brazil down. So any aura of invincibility that Brazil thought he had, Anthony Joshua beat that shit off of him. He said AJ's gonna bust Usyk's head. We'll see. We'll see. Don Camilo, appreciate you. Thank you. Old school fans. All right, Kurt, love your channel. Appreciate you, brother. Dude, stop. Troy, cut that shit. Knock that shit off. He's not retired. Wilder's not retired. G, get him. G, get him. You know, get the motherfucker, G. Yeah, G, I'm talking to you. He said, do you mean retarded? Oh, man, you guys are terrible. Rocco, get him. Get Troy. Oh, man. Kurt, Povetkin slept white at 76 years old. How people think he can survive Wilder counterpunch? Well, Wilder has a decent uppercut. I think the uppercut, Rocco, is the kryptonite to Dillian White. Okay, he's vulnerable of that punch, and I think that punch alone. I've seen him take side punches to the head, temple, and he's been fine. Look when he fought Chisora. They went toe-to-toe for 12 rounds. Well, fuck it, really 23 rounds, right? 22, because he knocked him out in the 23rd round. So he's able to take punches. He can take shots. It's just that punch. Come on, man. Look at Rocco. Who hit him with it was 3 people that caught him with an uppercut, and all 3 uppercuts that landed dropped him or knocked him out. Joshua. What's the fucking guy's name? Not Ortiz. Rivas and Povetkin. There's places it's a certain places on your body that you can't take punches, especially in your head. You know, some people can't take temple shots. Some people can't take, right jaw punches directly on the chin. Some people get hit in the nose, you know. You know what I mean? Mr. Park, counterpunch to you. Rivas, Joshua, Povetkin. Yeah, Parker's there too. And then Parker might beat Wilder. Who knows? And I think Wilder would get Parker. But Parker's fast and quick. You know, I want to see that fight. You know, they're friends. He respects them. But, I mean, those fights you have to see. See, everybody needs to get out of the mindset of the big 3. Joshua, Fury, Wilder, Joshua, Fury, Joshua. Fuck all that. We have other fighters that are in the division. We have Usyk, we have Joe Joyce, we have Daniel Dubois. Okay, we have Rivas that beat Ruiz in the amateurs, that knocked down Dillian White. We got Efe Ajagba that's knocking motherfuckers out left and right. We have people that we can talk about. You know what I mean? So I will be glad when the division gets to the point where, okay, when all the 3 they even out because they've either been beaten or by somebody else, then that means nobody's really better than anybody else. We just need to see who can beat anyone else. And then we can stop all this these triangle theory bullshits. Oh man, you can't beat that. You know you can't beat him. How the fuck you know that? You don't know that until they fight. Right? You know? Yeah, exactly. Make all of them fucking fight. 6 to 8 of these guys fight each other. Fuck the politics. Fuck the networks. Fight. World Boxing Super Series. Let's go. Heavyweight division. Let's run it. That's what you need to see. Manual Char beats them all. See? That type of shit. And what if Manuel Char fucks around and knocks out a couple of these guys that we always talk about? Everything goes back. And they're like, damn. But the first thing people will do is say, you know what? That motherfucker was overrated, hype job, bum, exposed, you know, chinless, that type of shit. Shelton Moore, appreciate you, brother. Salute to you. Yo, that 78 Burgers earlier was saying Wilder is all the new Ali. Oh, that's bullshit. But I heard that, though. He was trying to compare his fight outside the ring with, no, bro, that's like fucking comparing a watermelon to a fucking raisin. No. See, Ali was into some deep shit. They were trying to lock this man up. They weren't trying to lock Wilder up for lying and shit. Nobody was trying to sue Wilder, which I don't know why the fuck they weren't, but nobody was trying to sue Wilder. Wilder wouldn't discriminate. That was, if anything, that's a fucking fake movement. Fuck all that bullshit. Nobody was telling you had to go fight in some other country to kill fucking people. You know what I mean? You can't compare Ali to Deontay Wilder when the shit's outside the ring. Okay? The seriousness of Ali and, you know, of him not even being able to fight, you know what I'm saying, to take care of his family. And he had a lot. He loved women. He had a lot of kids. He had a lot of them. Okay, and he couldn't even fight to take care of them. Why? Because the federal government was against Ali. Not some commission that you claim is against you, but you win a fucking case. Get the fuck out of here. You won the case. So stop with the, they are against me. No, you won because you were right. The contract stands and you get your chance. That's the real. Ronald Dorville. Appreciate you, brother. Muhammad, what's your favorite heavyweight of all time? Joe Louis. Yeah, Yoko's there too. Keem Kush. Damn. I hope not. Check out KO King. King KO. He said Wilder is the new Michael Grant. Man, I hope not. But to make that statement, we have to know if he is the new Michael Grant. So it ain't because Michael Grant got beat up by Lennox Lewis. That ain't got shit to do with it. It's what happened after that. He got fucking creamed. People start beating that ass. So, yeah, Michael Grant, though, Otto Violin, he's another one. Josh AJ, I don't give a fuck who wins. I don't care. You know, I want Deontay Wilder to make a better account of himself. I want to see a good fight. I don't want to see bullshit. I don't want to see a stop fight. I don't want to see bullshit referees and favoritism. And I want a fight, a fair crack at the whip. That's what I want to see, Josh AJ. Did you speak to Eddie Hearn or get close to him? Ronald, I seen Eddie Hearn. I didn't speak to him because I was interviewing Dean at the same time when he came in. So there you go. I didn't see him again after that. So, but I did see Eddie. And he was like, hey, yeah, big man. Hey, you know, and, you know, but then he went on because, you know, he's busy promoting and all that shit. You know, Sonny Liston was great. Yeah, Sonny Liston was a bad son of a gun. He was a bad mother sucker, people. He was. I can't ever respect Wilder after the excuses. That's just weak, man, in my opinion. Emmanuel, look, don't be bashing Wilder because of the, you can, but like, don't look at it as a permanent thing because it's life after 2020. 2020 sucked dick for a lot of people. It was terrible, right? Not saying that is really bad for certain people. I'm just using that as an expression. It was a bad year. So excuse my expression, people. So, Emmanuel, I wouldn't be worried about that as much. Okay. How have you guys reacted to Conor Benn? Love that kid as a UK fighter, but I am biased as I was a fanboy of the Dark Destroyer. Alan Skill. I just met him. I met Conor Benn, a real cool dude, real cool guy, so I mean, fighting wise, I think he has some growing to do, but I think he'll be there. And I always end up calling him Nigel anyway. That's why I was like, oh, Ben, I don't know. It's just programmed in my head. He said, Kurt, Eddie Hearn is a snake oil salesman. Why does everyone think he's a straight up guy? Like he wasn't blatantly ignoring arbitration to get the undisputed. Stop the bullshit, counterpunch. Huh. Well, why does everybody think he's a straight up guy? Rocco, who and what fighter, Rocco, has said he fucked over him? Just tell me that. Who's taller, you or Eddie? I think Eddie's taller than me. But I mean, I seen him. It's probably from here to my kitchen. So no, it was a little closer because I mean, he was really right. He was really walking into the exit right outside, and I was right beside the exit. So no, but he's a little taller than me. He's a tall motherfucker. He's built like Leonardo DiCaprio. Just a straight, tall, straight up ass dude, like eating popcorn and shit on his days off. He ain't no gym guy or no shit like that, but he's tall. He's a tall guy. What does Lennox Lewis at his peak do to the division? Lennox Lewis kicks every ass in the division. That's what he does. That's exactly what he does. Jess, he kicks every ass. Lennox Lewis beats everybody here. He beats Joshua. He beats fucking Tyson Fury too. He beats Deontay Wilder, of course. He taught Deontay how to throw a fucking jab. He beats Andy Ruiz. He beats Dillian White too. I think Dillian White, since Dillian White times, that would be it would be a good fight. That would probably, and the funny thing, him and Dillian White would match up well. But he beats Dillian White too. And if one of those guys happen to knock out Lennox Lewis, he's going to come back in a rematch and beat them anyway. So yeah, he's too technical. Absolutely. Lennox Lewis might not like me for shit. He doesn't have to. But Lennox Lewis, you got to give him respect. Lennox Lewis will kick every ass of the fighters today. He will whoop every one of them. And he doesn't need a floating rib shot. Yeah. No, he just hits you with the fucking double jab, hit you with a 1-2 step, hit you with a 1-2-3 left hook, follow with an uppercut, and knock your ass into the fourth row. Yeah, that's what he'll do. Absolutely. And that has nothing to do with how he personally feels about me. I mean, I don't care. I just know he's a great champion. I think if it wasn't for the eclecticness and the versatile geographical location of Lennox Lewis, like the Canadian connection and the Jamaican connection in the UK, if it wasn't for that, and I think he was just like straight from the UK, he would have been looked at a lot differently. There you go. A person has to be blind if they don't see that they never plan to fight Fury. We don't need Hearn's word to know that. It's common sense. It'd be fine if they don't see that they never plan to fight Fury. Or you mean fight Joshua? Okay, the Truth's Son. Unfortunately, some people got snake oil for boxing brain cells. and can't judge Eddie on actions or the ground. I agree with you about Lewis. Respect to you, Kurt. Well, I want facts because I want to see where Eddie fucked somebody over. And I'm yet to have someone tell me, hey, he did this. He didn't do this for this fighter. He didn't do that. I know you meant AJ Brittany. It's all good. It's all good. Charlie Z beat Wilder. Dude, get the fuck out of here. You guys hear what Juicy Fruit said? Come on, man. Cut it out. Knock it off. Wilder beat the shit out of the troll. I loved it. I watch that when I'm bored. Here's the thing. This is what I do when I'm bored. I will listen to something Spears. His son name is, but he did the remix from Deontay Wilder to this day. I listen to that if I want to laugh. I like that. And I want to see someone talk shit and get their ass beat up and kind of bullied. I look at the Charlie Z when he tried to troll Wilder. I love looking at those two things. Finkel fucked over Briggs. Okay, again, that's Finkel. Man, I've heard some shit about Finkel too, but that's Finkel. Yeah, Kev, he was respected in the States. He was. And I think Lennox Lewis kind of envied the fact that how Joshua got all that recognition. And then you're like, well, what about me? I'm better than Joshua. I was technically better than Joshua. I've done more than Joshua. Why these motherfuckers ain't looked at me like that? I ain't got that type of money. Or I ain't had that type of fame in my own place, in my own claim. I don't know of any fighters that have said it publicly, but who knows what fighters think behind the scene. Eddie pretending he's shocked at arbitration, which makes no sense. Clearly BS. He tried. He tried what, though, Rocco? He tried to make the fight. Joe Calzaghe was the best from the UK. And that's another fighter, though, that really doesn't get any respect about, he's kind of like, people don't look at him as like the top. They look at Lennox Lewis. You know what I mean? People love Al Heyman, the boxers. Yeah, they do. You know what I mean? Look how they talk about Al Heyman versus Don King. You know what I mean? Charlie Z got in trouble for stalking Kim Kardashian. Damn, did he really? That dumb fuck. You don't do that. Kim Kardashian will fucking get you stabbed because you look at her. He makes me feel uncomfortable. Get him. Definitely one of the best. Yeah, he's pretty badass, Calzaghe. Eddie's fucked over no one. He's just a rich kid who took over his dad's business and is also a fan of the sport. Promoters do work for fighters. Yeah. I mean, I want to hear something. See, fuck all the, oh, yeah, he's a snake oil and blue-eyed demon and foul, man. He just foul. I can feel it. I can feel the energy is building up. No, I don't. Stop. Tell me something he's done. And then here's the thing. If anybody could have talked anything negative about Eddie, would be Luis Ortiz and Michael Hunter, because they both worked with him. And Michael Hunter was the quick to tell you, like, oh, well, that didn't happen. But Nadi, what's up, brother? Kind of punch to you. Yeah, you did. Appreciate you, brother. I had tea with Eddie a week ago. He's good. Well, that's good. I seen him 3 days ago. He was running around looking like a big ass Leonardo DiCaprio. Hey, yo, Kurt. What's up, Nicholas? Counterpunch to you. Yes, I would. Little Teak. And that's another guy, Jarrell Miller. Watch. Jarrell Miller's going to come back in a big fucking way. I don't know how big, but he'll come back. And he's already eyeing his return. Kurt, would you like to see AJ Miller? Yes, I would. Yes, in Madison Square Garden. Yes, that was supposed to be the fight that happened anyway. You remember the fight that fucking sold out within 2 hours? Broke a record in Madison Square Garden? Yes. Haroon Amir, counterpunch to you. Everything's good. Everything's good, Haroon. Well, he's making boxing bigger in general. He's just making boxing bigger. I would not work with anyone who is scared of a camera. Damn, that Heyman crap. He must don't have a reflection. He call him a vampire and shit. Like, oh, fuck. He doesn't have a reflection. Nobody would want to fight him knowing he's a drug cheat. Well, you know, hey, drug cheat. We have Roy, we have Sugar Shane Mosley, we have Fernando Vargas, we have Luis Ortiz, we have Tyson Fury. A lot of people that's fucking Canelo. There's a lot of people, baby. You know? No, I haven't. What's Cardano ADA? Damn, evil Eddie. Damn, evil Eddie. He's not a promoter, so why would you want to see him? Fury came back because he was jealous of fame and fortune Joshua got that he felt he deserved. Maybe. Canelo did not cheat. I hear you, Karma. I hear you. Cryptocurrency, buy some. Oh, yeah. Okay, I will. I've got a shitload of Vetcoin, actually. So I bought into it a lot of a few years ago. Cardano is damn it. It's slipping like the rest of the crypto market. TO by stoppage if Haney decides to fight him next. That's not going to happen, though. He's not going to fight Devin Haney next. He probably would want to after the performance, but I don't think that's going to happen. Fury is a lot more popular than AJ. 100%. Okay. Let's ask. You have no heartbeat. Vlad replied, my heart is hollow. Van Helsing. Damn. Nicholas says he needs to dump Ben Davison. Davison teaches his fighters to coast just because they won rounds. Wow. That's very interesting. Very interesting. Tank is fun to watch. Yeah, he's good beating older, younger, smaller, or should I say smaller guys up. All right. Let's see. Damn it. Kurt, Eddie's going for an undisputed during arbitration is like getting caught screwing a married woman and pretending you didn't know she was married. By the way, love you. Hey, that's a great analogy. That's a great analogy. I mean, because you could say that he knew. Like everybody knew. Like he said, yeah, I knew. Everybody knew. But he was lied to. I mean, it was like you can't say that he wasn't lied to. You can't prove that he was lied to either, though. So, you know. Akobin. The hell is Akobin? Let me see. What did you put then? Akobin. The guy from PBC is not a promoter. You act like you don't know who I'm talking about. His name is Al. No, he's not. You know? I think Wilder will surprise everyone. He really wants this third fight. 2-2. You are absolutely right. Let's go, champ. Guys, I'm going to shut this down. I appreciate all you hundreds of guys and people, guys and gals, for coming on. Deontay Wilder's interview was very informative. We've heard a lot. I will break it down in sections on tomorrow, you know, in different videos. So you guys, thank you for coming in. Everybody on the chat, you guys have been Counterpunch. Be blessed on this Sunday. and we will see you another time. Peace.